Hi, I'm Josh Carving, and welcome to another Death Battle prediction video. But first, Heihachi versus Geese Howard. Honestly, Now, a lot of the time you would think that when there is a fight that doesn't go the way that I had predicted, I might disagree or maybe call attention to things that weren't included, but they actually did cover their tracks pretty well for this one. And in particular as well, they posted a Q&A, not the one from the Death Battle cast, but one that was actually posted by the researchers themselves. And it did actually cover a lot of the things that I did have issues with. Largely the storm was put at a certain level, but it didn't include the, say, souls of characters like Orochi inside it, who also have other feats. And then as well, they included a feat that a lot of people missed, myself included. We did not catch the storm creation feat that Jinpachi had. And yeah, that was stronger than anything that Geese had, and there it is. And then there was some addressing of things like that. It's hard to say whether, I believe it's Elizabeth, her light abilities would be actual light. So I think I can accept this one. I do more or less side with Death Battle on it. They had their standard, how they set the characters, but then they also did go into a lot of the higher end feats and stuff like that. So yeah, I can agree with it. Though the fight was really, really good. It did have a few minor things that were wrong. Geese's face was kind of janky at some points, especially for the death animation. The lava kill was cool, but the style of it was... it was a little bit... I don't want to say, like, messy, but it was a bit of a stylistic jump that made it kind of pull you out of the kill itself. Like, for example, when... let's go with, say, Shredder versus Silver Samurai. At no point are you, like, going to be looking at that kill and thinking to yourself, oh, that looks weird. Because it basically looks like the sprites that they were using for Shredder, or Super Shredder, rather. And yeah, it all worked well in that regard. And then when you have, say... Ace's death with his like face getting incinerated, it still looks like him, at least until like he's disintegrating. They just kind of held on it a bit too long, and it was a little bit less effective than a lot of those. But that's really my only gripe with the fight. And there were plenty of good combos. I really did enjoy the running joke with Predictable. It was just funny that, so the first time it happens, the second time, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's the joke, fair enough. Then they shake it up a little bit with Heihachi being like, don't you say it. And then the last time it's Heihachi who says it himself, which, that was a really, really good touch. You don't usually get funny moments in fights, necessarily, so it was a good one for this. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say for that one. So, now we have... probably what's going to be shorter than the recap segment. Oh boy. Mikasa versus Blake. Yeah, it's about as one-sided as you've heard, probably. Though, to be fair, there is at least some discussion. The abilities themselves are only going to somewhat matter here. The ultimate thing that matters is Mikasa has these thing called Thunder Spears that are technically able to hit and kill Blake. In one hit, they would probably do it. That's if they hit, though, which is not likely at all. The speed gap between these two characters is astronomical. Like, assuming that they have characters around where they did last time, Blake should be at least, I think, Mach 100 or so. And that's assuming that they give Mikasa the supersonic speeds that she has. And yeah, supersonic. So Mach, I think it's like 2 or 3. Yeah, so Blake is about 30 times faster, meaning the Thunder Spears, of which Blake is capable, Mikasa is capable of carrying 8, yeah, those aren't hitting at all. Like, they have such a big splashback that you can't use them within a certain range. So Blake is going to have all the time in the world to just meander her way around them, and Mikasa just lacks the ability to do anything to Blake otherwise. So yeah, I don't see Mikasa taking this one at all. Not only can Blake just waltz past them, because I don't really see her being able to tag Blake at all, but then she also has things like her semblance to make clones to distract and take hits for her. Yeah, just all of Blake's capabilities make landing the Thunder Spear not even really a valid win con. You couldn't look at that and say, oh yeah, that should happen more than half the time that these two characters fight. It's vastly more likely that Blake is just gonna poke Mikasa dead. And yeah, you could have the situation where you say that Mikasa scales to Levi, who survived using one point blank on something, even though it basically nearly killed him. Okay, it's still not going to be nearly close to enough to make up the difference there. Blake is still just going to be able to whittle her down and completely kill her. So yeah, that's basically the rundown for this fight. Not my favorite RWBY character. I think she's probably my least favorite of the main 4. I think Blake got a bit too much focus early in RWBY. If you actually think about it, Blake got more focus than almost any other character for the first, 5 seasons of the show. Because if you think about it, the first 2 seasons are almost entirely about the White Fang. So it's almost all her stuff. Season 3 kind of follows a bit with that, but she's a little bit more background. But then she has I think the overworking thing, so she's back into focus for that too. Yeah, just overall. And then she has an entire half of a season dedicated to her and Menagerie. Just not my favorite. And it's funny because out of the 3 characters who have been in Death Battle from RWBY, she's the only one who has a valid win. And provided we're looking at RWBY versus Maka as of right now, yeah, it would be the only one of the 4 to actually win their fight. Within reason, of course, Yang should have lost. And, of course, this is assuming that they don't get buffed later. But yeah, I just find it funny. Well, that's basically all I've got to say on this one. It's going to be a 3D fight, so it should be plenty of fun. We will see what's going on for the next one. You guys have yourself a good one, and this was a lot more ranty and rambly than I expected. Bye.